Seven of Nine became a Star Trek captain before Picard's Season 3. Jeri Ryan's Seven of Nine actually became a Star Trek captain before the epilogue of Star Trek Picard Season 3, when Captain Seven of Nine took command of the USS Enterprise G. The epilogue teased Star Trek Legacy, a Picard spin-off about the adventures of Captain Seven, Commander Raffi Musiker, Michelle Hurd, and Ensign Jack Crusher, Ed Speleers, as the special counselor to the captain. So far, Star Trek Legacy doesn't seem to be happening, but fans don't have to wait for a new Star Trek show that might not come in order to see Seven of Nine in command. Star Trek Picard Season 1 caught up with Admiral Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, years after Picard retired from Starfleet, when a chance meeting with Dodge Asha Issa Briones launched Picard's next mission. Picard parted ways with Starfleet on bad terms, so Starfleet refused to lend Picard a ship to investigate Dodge's mysterious origin and rescue her twin sister, Soji, from the Romulans. Instead, Admiral Picard hired ex-Starfleet Captain Cristobal Rios Santiago Cabrera, captain of the civilian freighter La Serena. During the mission, a stop in Freecloud saw La Serena's crew pick up a familiar Fenris Ranger, Star Trek Voyager's Seven of Nine. Seven of Nine became a Star Trek captain in Star Trek Picard Season 2, when Seven took command of La Serena following Captain Rios' return to Starfleet. Picard's Season 2 premiere, The Stargazer, revealed what Admiral Picard's former crew members have been up to in the year since Picard Season 1. As captain of La Serena, Seven of Nine was on a humanitarian Fenris Ranger mission to transport medical supplies when La Serena was boarded by pirates. Seven and Rios' tactical hologram, Emmett Santiago Cabrera, handled the encounter, which didn't end well for the pirates. As a newly reinstated Starfleet officer, Captain Rios couldn't take La Serena with him, but Seven of Nine could use La Serena for her Fenris Ranger work, so it made sense for Rios to give Seven the freighter. At only 85.6 meters, La Serena was not a large ship, but it still had enough cargo space to take supplies where they were most needed. Seven of Nine skipped over cosmetic repairs on La Serena in favor of completing missions, much to Rios' dismay, but that just shows how Seven still prioritized efficiency over fixing a few dents. Seven of Nine was always destined to be a Star Trek captain from both an in-universe perspective and a narrative standpoint. Under Captain Kathryn Janeway's Kate Mulgrew wing in Star Trek Voyager, Seven was challenged to grow as an individual. Between the Doctor's, Robert Picardo, lessons and Janeway's guidance, the blueprint for Seven's humanity included being a leader. Even in Voyager, Seven showed leadership potential as a mentor to Naomi Wildman, Scarlett Pomers, Ikub, Manu Intiraymi, and Voyager's ex-Borg children. Whether Seven of Nine joined Starfleet or not, Seven was set up to inherit Janeway's values. Narratively speaking, Jeri Ryan's Seven of Nine was destined to be a Star Trek captain simply because Seven is such a popular Star Trek character. Because Star Trek leads are most often their show's captains, and Star Trek Picard evolved from a Star Trek show about Seven of Nine, Seven's arc in Picard needed to end with Seven of Nine in the captain's chair in some way. If Captain Seven of Nine hadn't wound up in Starfleet, Fenris Ranger Seven of Nine might have stayed captain of her first command in Star Trek Picard La Serena. Seven of Nine, a character first introduced in Star Trek Voyager, has become one of the most beloved figures in the Star Trek universe. Her journey from a former Borg drone struggling with her regained humanity to a capable leader has been one of the most compelling character arcs in the franchise. Long before her ascension to captain in Star Trek Picard Season 3, Seven's path seemed destined to lead her to the captain's chair. The seeds of her leadership potential were sown in Voyager, and her experiences throughout the series and subsequent appearances foreshadowed her eventual role as a Starfleet captain. Seven's early journey in Voyager, when Seven of Nine, originally known as Annika Hansen, was introduced in Star Trek Voyager during its 4th season, she was an enigma. A human who had been assimilated by the Borg as a child, she was rescued by Captain Janeway and the Voyager crew. Seven's struggle to reclaim her humanity while retaining the knowledge and skills from her time as a Borg made her a unique and fascinating character. Captain Janeway took a personal interest in Seven's development, both as a crew member and as an individual. Janeway's mentorship was critical in shaping Seven's understanding of leadership, compassion, and responsibility. This relationship mirrored a mentor-protege dynamic, where Janeway's firm yet caring approach taught Seven how to balance logic and emotion, key traits necessary for command. Despite her initial resistance to humanity and the values of Starfleet, Seven quickly became one of the most competent members of the crew. Her unique abilities, particularly her knowledge of Borg technology, were vital in Voyager's journey home. Her tactical skills and problem-solving abilities often saved the ship from dire situations, earning her the respect and trust of her fellow crew members. As she grew emotionally, she became a key figure in several critical missions, often displaying the leadership qualities of a future captain. Leadership foreshadowed several episodes in Voyager, subtly hinted at Seven's leadership potential. One of the most notable examples is the episode 1, in which Seven is forced to take command of Voyager after the crew is incapacitated by a dangerous nebula. Despite her fears and emotional detachment, she successfully navigates the crisis, demonstrating her ability to command a starship under pressure. Another significant moment comes in the episode Survival Instinct, where Seven must confront 3 former Borg drones. This episode highlights her growth in emotional intelligence, compassion, and understanding of complex moral issues, traits essential for a Starfleet captain. Seven learns to balance her instinct for survival with the well-being of others, a skill that would later define her as a leader. A time between captains after Voyager's return to Earth, Seven's journey took a darker turn, as revealed in Star Trek Picard. Disillusioned with Starfleet and struggling with her place in the galaxy, she joined the Fenris Rangers, a group of vigilantes who work to maintain order in the increasingly chaotic regions of space. This period of her life showcased her moral complexity and independence, setting her apart from the traditional Starfleet officers. Seven had developed her own code of ethics, driven by a fierce desire to protect the vulnerable and stand up against injustice. During this time, her leadership skills continued to evolve. Though not a captain in the traditional Starfleet sense, Seven led the Rangers in numerous operations. Her command over these operations and her willingness to make difficult decisions in morally gray areas illustrated that she was more than capable of leadership, even if she was operating outside the usual Starfleet structure. This experience toughened her, making her an even more formidable figure. Seven's journey toward the captaincy. By the time Star Trek Picard Season 1 begins, it is clear that Seven has become a powerful and influential figure, though one who still struggles with her place in the galaxy. Her interactions with Jean-Luc Picard and his crew further demonstrate her tactical acumen and ability to lead in crisis situations. Seven's evolution as a leader is cemented in Picard Season 3, where she officially becomes a captain within Starfleet. This was a long-awaited and well-deserved moment for fans who had followed her journey from Voyager through Picard. While her promotion may have been formalized in the 3rd season, her growth into a leader had been ongoing for years, shaped by her experiences as both a Borg and a human. Why Seven became captain before Picard Season 3, even though 7 of 9 didn't officially wear the captain's pips until Picard Season 3, in many ways, she had already assumed the role long before. Her time on Voyager under the mentorship of Captain Janeway, her leadership within the Fenris Rangers, and her command decisions in the years leading up to Picard all shaped her into a captain in spirit, if not in title. Unlike some traditional Starfleet captains, Seven's path to the captaincy was unconventional. She was not molded entirely within the Starfleet system, but